DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This video here's topic is having the last laugh over the last word in life. And there are three points, as always, I'm gonna give you here. They're about having what you have, you got it. Not having to talk about everything that you're doing, in the long run, letting your work speak for you. And we'll get to those in a minute. But the reason that I even came up with this topic is because, especially in the world we have today with social media, anybody can say whatever they want. If you happen to be a creator or a person who shares a lot of stuff online like I am, you know, you're going to get people who you never met, never heard of, and probably never will meet saying things, whether they be negative comments, critical comments, hating, maybe just trying to throw some shade at whatever you're doing, or even, of course, you have people who say positive things, but anybody can share their opinion. Anybody can say whatever they want. Anybody can just put their voice out there, whether it's valuable or it's not. And in this life, sometimes we end up getting caught up. And I've seen people who are, you know, respectable people in positions of power, people in positions of influence, positions of leadership, getting caught up in the verbal back and forth with people on the internet, whether it's somebody that they know and they just feel like they got to beat them in front of the audience, or somebody that they don't even know, just arguing with people online, and even, of course, offline. This happens as well. So this topic here is for all of you to understand that you don't have to win every argument. You don't have to win every debate. You don't have to, you know, clap back at people and, you know, captions and comments and the @replies and all that shit. You can if you want to, but you don't have to, because I'm going to tell you how you can basically win the battle, win the war, rather than try to win every single battle, because you don't have to do that. You don't even have to be involved in the battle if you're getting the last laugh over the last word. That's the point of this video. So let's get right into it. The first thing is this: when you already got what you got, when you got things taken care of and you're doing what you need to do, you don't need to keep explaining yourself. You don't need to keep talking about what you're doing, because you're already doing it. You're already performing. There was a movie called Hustle and Flow that came out, you know, many years ago. Some of you may have seen it. And one of the things that the actor, I believe his name is Anthony Anderson, and one of the things he said in his role was, look, there are people in life who talk and there are people in life who walk. And when it comes time to walk, the talkers just keep talking about what they're going to do, what they might do, where they might go, how things are going to turn out, because they always talking about what they're going to do. But the walkers, they don't have to talk, because when it comes time to get things done, to actually execute, they're not talking, because they walk. Now, they can talk if they want to, but they don't need to, because their actions are self-evident. And all of you have heard the saying, and many sayings about, you know, don't trust what people say, judge them on their actions, or I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are speaking too loud. Basically, we judge people, or at least we hope that we judge people on their actions, not on their words. And in the long run of life, the only thing anybody's going to remember about you are your actions. I mean, unless you happen to be like, I don't know, the president, and you give a lot of speeches, people still going to judge you on your actions. They're going to hear what you said in the speech, and then they're going to compare that against the actions that you took. And in the end of life, the only thing people really going to remember about you is not what you said, but what you actually did. If you didn't do anything and you talked a lot, nobody's going to remember you at all. Point number 2. Topic again is having the last laugh over the last word. In my favorite book of all time, which is called The 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene has a chapter that's called Win Through Action, Never Through Argument. I believe it's either chapter 4 or chapter 5, one of those, but if you read the book, you can go find it. Win through action is never through argument, because in the long run, Robert Greene says the truth is always demonstrated, not explicated, meaning if you can show people the truth through action, through things that they can see and feel for themselves, you don't have to explain it to them. You don't have to try to convince them of it. You don't have to try to talk them into it. Have you ever knew something? Have you ever known something to be true? You knew it was true. Like, there was no way, it was indisputable that it was true, but another person didn't believe it, and you were trying to explain it to them, like, look, if you do this and this, and you were giving them the calculations, you were giving them all the information, everything they needed to understand that what you were saying was true, but they just did not buy it. They didn't believe it. They didn't want to hear it. Have you ever been in a situation like that? I think we all have, many times in life, where people just don't want to hear something, even though we know 1,000% that it's true. Here's the thing. If you were to show them and let them feel and see and hear and experience themselves the truth, you wouldn't have to say anything. And they couldn't say anything. They couldn't dispute that, because they've seen it, they've experienced it, they know exactly what it feels like. And Robert Greene gives many great examples in his book of it. So go read that book, 48 Laws of Power, if you haven't. The truth is easily demonstrated. When you demonstrate the truth, you don't have to say nothing. Now, if you're trying to explain the truth to somebody, like if you end up in a courtroom, you got to explain, no, I did this, no, this person said that, then you get the he said, she said, you don't know who's telling the truth, you don't know who's lying, you don't know who to trust. That's when people are trying to explain things. That's when you're trying to get the last word. But if you get the last laugh, all you got to do is explain the truth or let somebody experience the truth, and you're good. You don't have to say anything ever again. Point number 3. In the long run of life, the only thing people remember you for, and I said this at the beginning, is what you do. Not what you say, what you've done, your track record, your resume, your accomplishments. What have you done that puts you in a position that people are even going to talk about you, let alone say anything positive about you? We only judge people on their actions in the long run. Sometimes we can be fooled by words, but if we get fooled by words, we know we were fooled because we see the actions are incongruent with the words. So in the long run, if you're talking about something and not doing it, people are going to find out. And if you're doing things, you don't have to talk about them because people will speak for you. Your actions will speak for you in the long run of your life, even if you decide to never say another word. Unless speaking is part of your actions, like making videos like this one right here. So let's recap these 3 points. Number 1, when you have it done, when you're doing it, when you know you are in the right place and doing the right things and executing and getting things done, you don't have to talk too much because in the long run, people are going to see that and it's going to be obvious. Point number 2, the truth is often demonstrated, rarely explicated. Do not try to explain the truth or convince someone of the truth. If they don't want to believe you, they're not going to believe you. If they experience it themselves and feel it and see it themselves, they can't argue with that because it's right there in front of them. It's visceral, it's obvious. And point number 3, your actions will speak for you in the long run. Whether that's in a positive way or a negative way, or people don't speak for you at all because you haven't done anything. But what you do is what people are going to remember, not what you say, not what you heard, not what you thought about, not what you planned. You want to get better in life. You want people to think of you more highly in life. You want to build a resume, build a track record to where people know your name for something. You got to do things. Don't talk about things. Don't plan things. Don't think about things. Do things. That's what people know. That's what people respect. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. My book, Work on Your Game, Using the Pro Athlete Mindset to Dominate in Business, Sports, and Life, is available now where all books are sold, physical, digital, and of course the audiobook 100% done by me. You have learned from these philosophies, the mental game, business, sports, life, anything you do, this is the book for you. Go get it now and work on your game. Dre all day.